June. Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Hey family, hey everybody. We gonna do the month of June. Happy birthday to all the Geminis in the house. What's good, Brianna? Brianna, I want you to hit me up, okay? I want you to hit me up. But anyway, um, yeah, we're gonna do June. For those of you that are on TikTok, you can't see that the caption for this is the caption for this is out of the ashes, babes. Out of the ashes. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what that means for all of the signs and how that looks like for you. Now, I was supposed to come on and do a celebration for my TikTok. What's good, Soy La Mezclada? For me making 15,000. I am still planning to do that, but I'm not gonna front. My dad's in the hospital, okay? So it's gonna be when I have the time. As soon as I can squeeze it in, it will happen. Okay, so let's get into it. One of the things I want to talk about is we've all have seen that the beginning part of this year, the energy was wild. Okay. Taurus, Venus is going into Taurus, I think on the 4th. We're all going to get a chance to breathe. All right. But we need to talk about what's coming in each of the elements and how that's going to be affecting y'all. I got some downloads. Okay, what's good, April? I got some downloads in regards to like overall energy, and I will give those to you as that element comes up. Okay, but what's good, Project Execute? I'm sure that y'all has seen. What's good, Iris? What's good, Coco? Hey, everybody coming in. I'm sure that you guys seen that Mount Etna erupted. Now, with my private group, we have been talking about volcanoes for a minute. Excuse me. I feel like if you noticed, Alonia had a black eye. There's word on the curb about some stuff that happened with that. We'll get into that too if it comes up. But a lot has happened. Okay. And I'm not going to go too long into, I'm going to let spirit bring it up as it comes up, should they come up. Okay. We are going to first, before we get into the individual elements, I'm going to get something. What's good, Roxy? We're going to get I want to do this for each of the elements. So we're going to put this to the side. That's going to be for each of y'all. So, okay, let's get an Earth Warriors for the overall energy gang. Let's take a look at what's popping for June. I feel like it's going to be a lot smoother, but I feel like right in the dead of the month, there's something that occurs. What's good, Queen Char? What's good, Iris? Okay. I feel like there's something happens dead in the middle of the month. Now, this could have to do with a parade that's going on, right? Let me stop right there. Yesterday, there was supposedly, I guess, some kind of protest or something. Thank you, Queen Char, for the gifts, right? And what happened? There was an attack, and dude was setting people ablaze, trying to be, right? He was setting people ablaze. right? So, you know, and we've been talking about here that the energy was going to start getting thick, and people's mental health, and we got the walk-ins, people who were in low vibration and they're spiritually accessible to, you know, any type of energy. And then we had the soulless, and that's a whole other thing. And, you know, if you guys, you know, are into that type of understanding, you need to go over to my YouTube. What's Good Ethereal, What's Good Divine Leadership. That's where we really get into that, and especially on the Patreon, okay? But we're seeing the fruition of people's temperaments shifting. You're also seeing, hey, Nourish, stick around. This is definitely going to be a good one, okay? We're going to look at the month of June, but we're also going to look at what's happening collectively, right? We're seeing a divide. Let's get to it real quick, okay? So we can get started on the elements. There's a divide happening, okay? Where you have the awakened and those that are coming into a strong self-awareness, standing in their power, understanding their path forward. And then you have another set of segment of society that is in a cognitive dissonance, okay? And because of that, the reaction to what is transpiring is jarring. Now, we went through the jarring period in the beginning of the year. For the first 3 months, we were in shock, we were in mourning, we were crying, right? We're just all kinds of stuff, because if you're an enlightened being, that frequency is heavy as hell. But I feel like those of us are starting to, I remember the way. We're starting to get our sea legs back. Okay, I also feel like divine masculines are awaking in numbers. Ladies, this is what y'all wanted, okay? Understand, it is a mirror. When this happens, there will be aspects of yourself that you didn't see that are going to be coming to light. Don't look away from the mirror. Okay, let's get one card for the general energy, and then we're going to get into the individual elements where we will discuss how this is affecting each element and what they can expect for the month of June. We do this on Mondays. We look at the elements for the week, but being that this is a new month, we're going to do June today. Spirit, can you show me, please? For the collective, Ixchel, sorry, medicine of the rainbow jaguar. Okay? We're going to hear Spirit's message to the collective before we get into the individual elements. Ixchel protects you now as you transition from one life phase to the next. With her rainbow light, this guardian goddess instructs you on how to use your great power with wisdom to nourish only what is worthy. Using jaguar medicine with perfect timing, she confronts that which is unworthy of her devotion, eradicating destructive forces and creating space for healing, relief, and rebirth. Her presence is the wild power of the jaguar, the renewal promise of the rainbow, and divine feminine creativity. All darkness shall be overcome. What did I say? That this reading was going to be about out of the ashes. I feel that there's something that we have burned away. Recognize, I'm talking about those that have been on their path. Okay? This is like burning it all down and then starting afresh. Okay, there's a new starting point, a new understanding of who you are. All right, that this is after a great purge. Here's the prayer. The rainbow light brings me healing, blessing, and spiritual grace now. according to unconditional divine love, the divine mother brings me all that I need, which is generosity and wisdom. I also feel like the message with that is that Venus is stepping into Taurus. Okay, that is her home domicile. This is the nurturing of that which the seeds you've planted for the harvest, but it also means starving that which no longer serves us. I believe that we as a whole have come to a better understanding about how we fight the enemy. I feel like this is not in the ways of old, and that we've learned in some ways to use the power of manifestation in the reverse. If we can use where the energy goes is what grows, then that also means that where we detract or where we refuse to energetically connect, we starve that which we no longer want to see in our collective. And I believe that that's happening. I feel like that is why we're seeing such large numbers of individuals in cognitive dissonance that are lashing out and taking actions like yes, metaphysics, right? Like they're trying to find ways to be in control of something they no longer resonate with. Okay, the frequency that they used to be in alignment with no longer exists. It's not supported in this timeline. Okay. Ooh, let me slow down because spirit was going fast as hell in my head. All right, so we're gonna start with air signs because it is Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini. All right, so speaking of the air signs, I feel like Pluto being in Aquarius, and that is like a 19-year cycle, and it's only been like 6 months. You guys have not gotten your sea legs yet. You're used to moving with going with the flow and traveling light, right? And this energy is not supporting that. Okay, it's like it's showing you the parts where you have been too disconnected, too not grounded enough, right? So there's like this opposite happening, right? Where it's kind of showing you where being too airy is not in your best benefit. So I feel like this is a beginning of a new 19-year cycle. You're actually trying to plant some sort of root in a new schedule, behaviors, new location, new job, it's newness. Okay, so we're gonna get you guys on astro codes. We're gonna see what spirit says is going to be what you're concentrating on for the month of June. Spirit, can you show me what is it? The Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What's the unicorn I need to concentrate on? What I said. Pluto came out, right? The rebirth. And I said it was something about the mirror and the opposite of that which. So like if you've always been keeping it light and airy, Pluto is causing a rebirth. I named this out of the ashes. This is like after it's all burnt down, right? Opposition, confrontation. Now you're facing something within. This is about your personal belief and how you want to transform some kind of internal thinking. You got number 53 reduces to an 8 and number 27 reduces to a 9. I feel like air signs, you are confronting a conflict within. This is not outside. Okay? This is about an old belief or something that you had in your mind, but maybe it's about a limitation that you thought there was a cap. Let's say age. Let's say what you could do for a living, whatever it may be. There was some restriction that was not real, or at least isn't in this timeline. And so you're being called to reflect on that. And this is the part of you that will be revamped in 19 years, right? So, of course, before you embark on this long traversing, there has to be some looking at where inside that seed is planted, right? We just talked about Venus being in Taurus and looking at the seeds that we nourish, right? So let's get you some tarot. Let's see what's going on, what this means for my air signs, and how they can best use this energy. Looking internal now for a year. Cleaning, clearing, clearing. That's right. And I feel like a lot of that, because I am a Libra moon, right? A lot of that was external. Like we were clearing away the cobwebs of relationships, even literal closets, right? But now it's like, where did I have the stinking thinking? Right? I believe Mercury's in Gemini. This is going to cause you to really reflect on the internal dialogue. Spirit, can we see? We have out here the Wheel of Fortune. Pick any fate. A fate, any fate, it says, right? So I feel like this is like destiny versus fate, right? This is a crossroads, okay? Now you also have the Seven of Wands here. Then you also have the Knight of Swords coming out cross, okay? I feel like this argument could be with somebody else, but it could be a reflection of something that comes up within you. In other words, they trigger something and you look internally at yourself. Okay, Spirit, can you show me, please? Okay, Ace of Pentacles. One more. Hermit and the Moon. Okay, we'll stop there at the bottom of the deck. There is the Five of Swords. I feel like there is something here about pressure, under pressure, or when to apply pressure, or how much pressure, or the belief in pressure, or should you apply pressure. There might be some kind of internal questioning. Let's see with this. Let's go with the Light Seers Oracle. Wheel of Fortune comes out with the Sun. Okay. I feel like there is a cracking, okay? A lot of you air signs was keeping it light through your transformation. What do I mean by that? There may have been circles or whatever that you distanced yourself with. I don't feel like you straight off cut things off. What's good, Pata? I don't think you straight off cut things off. I think you just put some space, right? Maybe because certain energies stress you the fuck out. They're draining, okay? You could be as an empath. The more that you learn to, thank you for the gifts and the blessings, the more that you learn to transmute your own energy, the more sensitive you are to other people's frequencies. I feel like that's happening. Okay. I feel like you did that for a while. Could have been a couple of years. I feel like now you're ready to integrate. And this goes back to what I was saying about those that have been awakened for a while, like we're being called now to be public, okay? Where we were protecting our frequencies before, right? Yeah, it's a cracking open, right? Because where we felt protective, now we're being pushed to actually integrate, to actually show ourselves that we have the fortitude to be in the frequency of our power, this new power, right? How would you know that you could do it if you stay in your house in a closet? You understand? So that's happening. So this is like, coming out to the light. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show, right? But we're also feeling like, oh, I spent an hour at the barbecue. That shit was stressful as hell. I need to go home, soak my feet and shit. Like, I just need to relax. Like, it was a lot, right? So this is the learning of the balancing. How do you balance your frequency? You have the Seven of Wands, Spirit. Why is the Seven of Wands here? Can you show me, please? I feel like this has to do with the crowds and the frequency, right? Listen to your element, my love, and you will definitely get your answer. Okay, we are on air signs right now. Okay, you got the Seven of Wands with the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so I feel like you're learning the discernment of how to protect that frequency, that magic that's within you, right? Because you have an inner enlightenment, the truth, okay? You have been awakened, right? But you're also learning how to do it kindly, okay? Or maybe that's been your way. I feel like for my air signs, good morning, my love. I feel like for my air signs, you might have, y'all like to be a little people pleasers. Not gonna hold y'all. You like to be polite. Maybe with the exception of Aquarius, because Aquarius is a fixed sign, so they're a little more upfront with their shit, right? But the Seven of Wands and the Death card, the Seven of Pentacles and the Death card, okay, hey Eve, it feels like you're understanding that there's something that isn't served well in that method, or that there's some kind of misunderstanding, or there's some type of disingenuousness in that method, okay? So the Knight of Swords coming across, I feel like you swallow a lot, okay? This could be passive aggressive comments from other people that you try to, dismiss because you don't want to alienate people. You just kind of want to protect your own frequency. Like, why, this might not be the hill I want to stand on, right? But the Seven of Cups comes out to that. I feel like later on, these things that you stay quiet about really strike a chord in you. They really upset you. It makes you feel some kind of way. And I feel like some of that has to do with your own awakening and not being able to be passive to pain, passive to maybe racism, passive to sexism, passive. Like maybe before you would have tried to avoid having certain discussions or being confrontational, but it's not necessarily that you have to be confrontational, but I feel like something bothers you about being quiet. Okay? Maybe it's and that's the collective feeling now too. I feel like as a collective, that's where we're headed, where we're starting to call out the injustices. Okay? Because in the spaces of silence is where injustice breeds. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, Spirit. Why is this Ace of Pentacles here for my air signs, please? Right? Because all money ain't good money. Okay, Five of Swords with the Six of Swords, right? Now you're starting to weigh about how you make the money, where you put your money. Are we going to go to Target? Hell no, right? All these kind of things that we feel differently now about what we work hard for, what we use that towards, and what do we really truly value about our family, society, like overall, right? So I feel like that these two things, okay, this is an adjustment in itself, because okay, I don't want to go to Walmart anymore, so how do I find other ways? I feel like this is you examining, okay? Annie Rose, I want you to listen to your element. I feel like you will come to an understanding of what is supposed to happen. I don't know what sign your partner is. I feel like there is going to be some agreement, but there's a compromise. So it ain't all good and it ain't all bad. You understand? So, like, let's say he was looking at 2 years, he might get 3 months in probation or something, or a program, or okay. But you need to listen to your element, because I'm the coldest that there is, and I promise you, you will get your answer. Okay? The Hermit is here. You're welcome. There's something about money and a difference in how you make money, use money, okay? Or having to stand alone, okay? Okay, and let's say Adi Rossi, let's say this was you. This would be saying that you should be planning on getting your money up, because there might be a little bit of time where you got to, solely depend on you. You feel me? Okay, the Moon. There's something here about the deepest parts of yourself. And this Gemini full moon that's coming. Well, it'll be a Sagittarius full moon in Gemini. And I think it's around the 7th or the 11th. You need to be honest about what you resent that you didn't say, do, whatever, and how that is impacting how you feel about your shadow work. I feel like that is going to play a big part in your next. That's where the seed is. That's why it's feeling important to you right now, because it has something to do with your overall, Pluto in Aquarius, and the foundation that you've ripped out to lay the new foundation, to examine what it is truly that is important to you now, because before doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Air signs, and although, like I said in the beginning, there was this energy of normally you guys like to keep it light, it's like this time you're trying to figure out, but where do I need to anchor? Okay, so that's what I have for my air signs. Water signs, pull up: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I had gotten a download about Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And I feel like while Saturn was in Pisces, thank you, Pata. When Saturn was in Pisces, there was a lot of emotional work that was being handed to the water signs. There were things that you had to look at that necessarily you didn't want to be in that. Although you often thrive in water, this felt like too much. You were stuck in a place of emotion where you couldn't free yourself. Okay, couldn't free yourself. I'm emotional and I can't let go. Right? So there were some things that were replaying for my water signs. Let's see what the concentration will be for the water signs this month, for the month of June. If you miss your element, you can follow me on YouTube, where this is also live, and you can rewind. Spirit, can you show me, please? What is it that my water signs need to know right now, please? What is it that my water signs need to know? What is it that my water signs need to know for the month of June, please? For the month of June. Trine sextile symbiosis at the bottom of the deck, Imam coli root. Okay. I feel like finally, because Pisces was top heavy for a minute, it had Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, like it was all happening at the same time, right? And I feel like it was a really a hard concentration on what we were hiding from ourselves, and especially for water. I feel like now you're going to be coming into a period where things are going to feel a little lighter, and there may be some opportunities. Okay, remember that Venus is exalted in Cancer. Okay, so I feel like this Venus energy being in the home sign of Taurus is something that you guys like. That's also the opposite sign of Scorpio, the sister sign, right? There's some juicy energy for you guys. If you can lighten up. I feel like the last few months have felt maybe heavy, and I feel like there's some opportunities coming to you. Okay, there's going to be some alignment. There also could be a friend coming back around. Okay, coming back around. All right, there may be an opportunity to put something to rest. Okay, let's take a look. Spirit, can you show me, please, what is it that my water signs need to know right now? What does water signs need to know? What do water signs need to know right now, please? Can you show me what is it that my water signs need to know for the month of June, please? So you've got the Hierophant here in reverse. I feel like you might have lost faith in a situation, okay, in the past recently, okay? I feel like you're just so happy to be out of something, okay? Some of you, there could have been talk of a divorce, okay? Spirit, can you show me? Okay, with the Two of Wands, there could have been a negotiation. Two of Wands, okay, and then you have the Devil here, right? For some kind of toxicity or something. Okay, there was something you had to handle. I feel like water signs, you were forced to start handling something. Maybe there was somebody you used to go to. I feel like that person was removed. I feel like you got a lot of major arcanas out here. Okay, I feel like you had to finally stand on business, and this one was more like individual. Spirit, can I have one more, please? And you have here the Ace of Swords. There was the truth about a situation, okay? And I feel like stars at the bottom of the deck. There was a redirection. I feel like you hit a point of stagnancy in the beginning of the year, and I feel like you had to break free from something. And there may have been a negotiation. If you're in a partnership, this could have been negotiated. Well, how I need to fly in some way. I need to have something for myself. I need to break something away from something, or we won't make it. Or this could be like, hey, we're no longer in alignment. I need to make some choices for myself. But whatever this may be, there's some kind of pressure relief valve that is being released, okay? and it's for this new chapter. So it's this star card. I feel like you're going to be on the right path, if not already, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. You even got options and shit. Okay, but it feels like the beginning of the year was heavy as hell. All right, so let's take a look. Why is this Hierophant here for my water signs in reverse, please? What is going on with that? Can you show me why is the Hierophant here in reverse? Was this some kind of loss of faith or a loss of a relationship? Can you show me, please? Why is the Hierophant here in reverse for my water sign? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, please. Can you show me? Two of Pentacles, okay? Page of Pentacles. For some of you, there was some juggling going on. That the Two of Pentacles coming out cross to the Hierophant in reverse, okay? I feel like there was also maybe an opportunity. For some of you, there's probably a couple of you in here that was in a relationship that you thought was maybe limiting you to begin with. Then you found out that this person was involved in some behavior or something that you told them you didn't want to be part of. So whether it's a third party, street pharmacist, whatever, doesn't matter, right? And it feels like they thought they were playing in your face. They actually have given you a way out. Okay, so you're like, I will take this opportunity to get off of this fucked up ride. Okay, yeah, I got love for you, but I also have love for me, and I want to explore that with the Lovers. Okay, I'm choosing a 10 of Wands to not be in a burdensome situation. Okay, with the Ace of Wands, I feel like there's a passion that's burning inside of you, but it's due to this 10 of Swords. It's like it was enough is enough. Enough is enough is enough. I can't go on. Right? So it was like something had to give, and it was going to be your sanity. So you decided to bow out, bow out, bow out. Okay? This could even be faith in a person, in a religion, in anything. Okay? Because remember that the Hierophant can also be faith. Okay? You got the Two of Wands with the Seven of Cups here. Thank you for the follow, my love. I feel like you are having to pick a new direction, but this is without a roadmap. This is like, I don't know what's next, but I know I can't stay here no fucking more. I know that much, okay? With the Page of Cups, it's like, somebody could have been like, I didn't mean it. I know we've been here before. Blah, 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 blah. They could be trying to tell you, I see you're working on yourself. You're really rising. Keep rising to the top, right? You're like, I don't want to hear that shit. Okay, here's the Devil card. Spirit, why is the Devil card here? And this may sound like a heavy and negative reading, and yet it isn't, because it feels like water signs have a new lease on what they want, if only because they experienced what they didn't want, right? So you got the Devil here with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands. Somebody said something they couldn't take back, and it was like a cord cutting ceremony had been done. It's like they might have said a Freudian slip. But whatever they did, it felt cathartic, freeing. It's like joy, 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 right? Like it actually brings joy to know that you don't have to suffer anymore. How wild is that? Okay, you got the Judgment card here, right? Now this Two of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. For some of you, this could be the purging of that last thing, where they realize that they have been causing some type of situation for some of you. But more of you will be that you're freeing yourself, okay? Judgment is here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, okay? I feel like some of yous that might be with another water sign, like two water signs, you might choose to stay together. Make sure, and that's okay, because I see the Knight of Cups here. This is trying to work on something, right? But make sure that you're doing it like because you both are in the same space, but not out of fear, okay? Because I feel like there is some of you that there's a strong connection that could be mended, but you don't want it to be solely on the heartbreak, okay? So make sure that there's something, there's like a real foundation there, okay? You got the Ace of Swords, okay? Because not every, you know, you just got to be careful on what's the common thread, right? Yeah, you see, because the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Be sure that what roots you is not the trauma. I'm not saying you can't have trauma in a relationship. What's good, Be So Savage? Most of you will, especially if you have like a 20-year relationship. How could you not have situations, right? But the question is it built on love or is it built on trauma? And I feel like that is what water signs, you know, are having to decide. And I feel like that was the purpose of all that heavy energy in Pisces for the beginning of the year. And so this is why like this breath of fresh air that's coming. It is a waiting to exhale moment. Now, you could choose to exhale together or apart, but that is coming, right? For a lot of you, you're going to choose independence. You got the Star card here at the bottom of the deck, if I can pick it up, and the Nine of Pentacles, okay? So even those of you that stay in a relationship, like let's say you were in a relationship that was very controlling, you might have come to an agreement like, listen, I'm not doing that shit no more. Either I'm my own person and you can respect that, or we ain't going to get down with the get down no more. Okay, what's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? So this is about that. Okay, this is about water signs having some sort of personal freedom and coming to an understanding of what they no longer want in their life. And you're standing on business with that, okay? Make sure that the things you do choose, the connections that you continue with, thank you, my love, are based on love and not on trauma. No trauma bonding, guys. Okay, fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sag. I feel like the download that I got for you guys was about how much energy there is going to be in Aries. Okay? There's so much energy in Aries. Saturn, Neptune, right? And I feel like it's causing you, all of the fire signs, to examine how you use that fire or how you use your superpower fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. Okay, we're going to see what Spirit wants you guys to concentrate on for the month of June. Spirit, can you show me for the month of June, what does my fire signs need to concentrate on, please? What do they need to concentrate on? If you missed your element, you can head over to YouTube where this is also recording live so that you guys can use that and check it out later. Spirit, can you show me? For fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. Relationship. And that makes sense. That makes sense because Aries is the house of self. And so this is personal freedoms against Saturn restriction. This is self-exploration versus Saturn's limitations. This could be limitations in relationships, limitations in careers. But there's definitely a looking at where you've been, where you're going, and who do you want on this next leg of the journey to accompany you. Okay, so let's get you guys some tarot. Right? I feel like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you often use your fire to protect what's important to you, to burn away things that you don't want coming too close to your family or your business or your relationships or whatever. I feel like this time you might use your fire a little bit differently. I feel like this is sanitizing a part of your life. I think the word is cauterizing it, but like, you know, like when you have a wound and they burn it sealed, right? So this could be something that you are deciding that it's better to seal the wound or something. Spirit, can you show me what is it? Is it in reverse? Okay, let's do it again. But I'm going to show you guys what was in reverse just in case, okay? 2 of Cups in reverse with the 3 of Swords in reverse. So if this energy comes out again, then we know, all right? So let's do it again. Spirit, can you show me for my fire signs? Temperance. Right? There's something about mending something, and do you want to, or healing something. Your life is in the balance, right? That's what the card says. With the 10 of Wands, right? And you might be like, if I go back, it might not be to my advantage. I've been carrying other people's burdens, okay? You've got the Page of Swords. I feel like you want to block something. I feel like something wants to come back, and you, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me, and I was wrong. I feel like you carried people for too long. I feel like you're tired of carrying people. That's too many cards, Spirit. I'll keep those 5. Thank you very much. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Sun. Something has been illuminated to you. Okay, so I feel like there is yeah, you're done. There's something that you're looking at and you recognize that cannot be saved or cannot be healed. It has to be cut out or something. Right? 9 of Cups, to be happy. That is the purpose, right? With the 10 of Cups, like, I want real love. Real love. I'm searching for a real love, right? Temperance. Why is this here, Spirit? Can you show me? And it comes out with the 6 of Pentacles crossed, okay? You're definitely not on some sharing shit. You're definitely not trying to hear, you know, do this for me and I'll do that for you next week. Or, you know, this is one hand washes another. I'm down right now. You're not trying to hear that shit, okay? I feel like you're pregnant, but you're pregnant. Some of you could be physically pregnant, but I feel like you're more pregnant with the dreams, with the hopes, with, you're like, I can't take you with me, bro. I can't. Not to be, I'm gonna give birth to like my happiness or to my business or to my child, to myself, to the true version of me. Like I can't, this isn't the time to be sharing. Okay, with the 10 of Wands. Why is this 10 of Wands here? Okay, because the 6 of Swords, because it's time for me to fucking move on in the world. It's over. Okay, like those weren't even my burdens. They were like your burdens, and I was trying to help you with your burdens, and then you decided to give them to me, and you acted like they were my burdens because you feel like all of a sudden I'm the one that needs to fix them for you, and you have to take some responsibility to wait. I feel like you're recognizing, okay, and in that recognition, you're also realizing like, what the fuck was wrong with me though? Because why did I keep taking this person's thing like it was my job? Why did I allow them to make me feel guilty or responsible for their shit? Like, okay, Page of Swords. Spirit, why is the Page of Swords here? Can you show me? Why is the Page of Swords here for the collective? Can you show me, please? Why is the Page of Swords here for my fire signs? You got the Page of Swords with the Five of Cups. Okay, so I feel like in the past, when you didn't take this person's responsibilities away, they would behave in a way that like they didn't want to be around you, or like, you know, you don't love me. Like, it's like blaming you, right? And you're like, oh, well, then fucking block me then. Stay blocked. I'm not, this is your shit. You clean it up. Okay? I feel like you're also like, they like to take credit for the good and like to shit on for the bad. So like, if you do something good, they're like, I did it. If you do something that didn't fall up to what they wanted, they're like, no, they did it. So it's like you're recognizing, you're like, no, take credit for both. Here you go. Right? Here's the page of the Four of Swords. Why is the Four of Swords here? With the Lovers. You're like, yeah. Right? They're like, we can heal it. We can fix it. You're like, yeah, but I actually have options, and I don't know if I really want to give myself to this. And I feel like often when you did give yourself to this person would do less. And that could be it. That now they're trying hard as hell. So you mean to tell me when I was fucking trying to help you, you would like play hard to get, so that way I would do more for you. But now that I don't want to have nothing to do with you, now you all the way up my ass because you trying to get me to come back. Baby, come back. You could blame it all on me, right? But I feel connected to something else, to my higher self. Like I have to move on in some way, okay? Two of Pentacles with the Five of Swords. What they gonna do? Look at them. I had to figure out a way to get my fire sign back because they did so much. They was using their fire to burn away situations that I didn't want to deal with. And now they took their fire somewhere else. And you mean to tell me I have to do my own thing? Oh, let me be nice and try to, you know, romancing the stone. I just heard. Okay, High Priestess, you already know because they've done this many times. So you put on like a thick coat of armor. Okay, Four of Wands, peace and harmony. Some of you are actually blocking them from, you know, like contacting you. Some of you are moving. You're going that far. Okay, you've been listening to my song, Player Baby Come Back. Okay, so listen, I'm just saying to y'all. Okay, there is definitely you're deciding what freedom and self-discernment and self-determination, where that takes you next. You're not using your fire to protect them anymore. Now you're using it to protect yourself. Okay, that's what I have for my fire signs. Earth signs, pull up. Oh, this wasn't the deck. Maybe they need one of this too. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what comes out. Spirit, can you please show me what it is? Got my earth signs. Need to know for the month of June. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, please. So I got it's very funny. Okay, I had gotten a download before I pulled this card. I had gotten a download for my earth signs. It was actually the exact opposite as my air signs. So earth signs, you're always told that you're stubborn. You're always told that you're too grounded, that you need to lighten up, that you need to have fun, that you need to yada, 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 yada. Okay? People don't even fucking recognize you right now. They don't. They don't know the new version of you. They don't understand it. They don't know where it came from. Okay, they feel, some of them might be like, is there something wrong with them? Okay. I feel like you are transmuting into the lighter version of you, of keeping it light, of keeping it moving, of allowing new things, trying new things, okay? Being spontaneous, not being so attached. And it's freaking people out. That was the download I got. Spirit, can you show me for my earth signs, please? Shine. I think also with Venus coming into Taurus this week, all my earth signs, this is like a positive energy of warmth and good juju, okay? Pallas Athena, think. I also feel like when Pluto was in Capricorn, you guys just went through a 19-year cycle that was quite heavy. And I feel like now it's your turn to exhale. It's my turn to see what I can see, right? You're getting to exhale. You're starting to feel like, okay, I did a bit already. Or maybe you're in the second chapter of, like your kids are grown. You've completed something. Okay? You completed something and now you feel free to explore something. Okay, people may be taken aback by your new version or your lightheartedness. They're not used to it, okay? Spirit, can you show me for my earth signs, please? What is it that they need to know for earth? What does earth signs need to know? Earth signs? What do earth signs need to know, please? Earth signs. What does earth signs need to know? You have the Fool. There is a new beginning. I feel like you are happy about this. You got the Page of Cups, okay? I feel like you're not bending over backwards anymore to be the anchor for everybody, okay? I feel like Knight of Swords. I feel like it's upsetting people that you're not willing to be the anchor or the heavy or the arranger or whatever, the arranger in chief, okay? The Devil here, they feel it's like toxic, but I feel like it was because they weren't doing something for themselves, okay? Spirit, can you show me one more, please? What's that? Yeah, you got a new perspective, baby. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. You are having a conversation with your higher self, with your ancestors. There's an inner knowing that isn't being awakened. Spirit, can you show me why is the Fool here? Why is the Fool here? Why is the Fool here? Why is the Fool here for my earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why is the Fool here? Can you show me, please? Why is the Fool here? Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move, right? It is definitely like good vibrations, right? Ascension for sure. Okay, Spirit, why is the Fool here? Can you show me? Empress cross. Okay, so I feel like you're a little bit weak from the battle. Okay, a little frazzled. Okay, but you are ready to start anew. Okay, I just feel like there's something that has you a little, it's something you had to leave behind. I feel like you want somebody to understand. What I need from you is understanding. You want them to understand, but they can't understand. And maybe you have been walking away from people, places, and things, but this one is a little heavier. Okay, with the Page of Cups, Spirit, why is the Page of Cups here? With the Nine of Cups, you're like, I'm sorry that you don't understand. Okay, but it's time for me to make myself happy. I have been doing this for other people for so long that I deserve this time to shine or be in the sun or be happy or feel, let's say you decide to take a 40th birthday, or you're planning something. Let's say, you're planning something big for yourself. And they're like, well, you can't do that because so and so and this and this and that. And who's going to do? Hey, 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 hey. Okay, like I have sacrificed enough. Okay, the Knight of Swords is coming out here. Okay, with the Sun. Okay, I feel like people are annoyed and visibly annoyed by your, stepping into the light, by your, reclaiming your time. I reclaim my time, right? They're visibly annoyed. It's causing the Tower. It's not the system they want. Okay, peace and harmony. Thank you, Jessa. Okay, they wanted to go back the way it made them feel comfortable. Okay, but that was, restricting to you. Okay, and Uranus is getting ready to finish up its transit in Taurus. Okay, so we've gone through all the earth signs. We have gone through a 7-year cycle of upending what we thought we knew to be true. And this is why being stubborn or grounded in anything to us right now seems so dishonest, right? So what we were challenged to do with Uranus was to release the outcomes of all situations, and we have done so. And so we have discovered a new freedom within ourselves that allows us to, let go of that which we were afraid to let go of. Okay, it says sex, obsession, addiction, enslavement, right? All the things that make the world living. 10 of Wands, right? And we have been carrying bag lady, this shit with us everywhere, right? But we finally realized, King of Cups, right? That, to be happy, right? That we, sometimes we're going to make mistakes, or sometimes we're going to make the wrong choice, or sometimes we might let somebody down. But that also means that we're fucking living, and that we have permission, and that everybody else does whatever the fuck they want to do. They let the pieces fall where they may. And earth signs is always there, like, no, don't do that. Oh, I'll fix it. Don't worry. I'll be responsible. I'm going to be the designated driver. You understand? And I feel like people are annoyed that you're like, no, I don't want to be the designated driver, or I don't want to be the responsible one. I want to go do some shit that I want to go do. Okay. So you have the Ace of Swords here in reverse. Okay. People think it's a motherfucking lie. Like, no, there's got to be something else going on. Do they have a tumor, or are they sick? Are they going through something? They're not telling us something. 2 of Pentacles coming out cross, right? Or they're just being selfish, or they, right? 8 of Wands. They could even be talking about this with others. Queen of Cups. Meanwhile, you're in holy meditation. Okay, you can feel all of that frequency, but you're also standing in your Nine of Pentacles. You're like, no, I'm gonna keep down this path because this is what I am supposed to be doing for myself. You have the Four of Pentacles here. Okay, you're protecting yourself. Okay, because something that you learned about with Uranus in Taurus was what you value. You protect what you value, right? So a lot of the things that you thought were important, they really turned out not to be. These people or places or things weren't valuing you in the way that you were valuing them, and that to love yourself, you had to choose between them and yourself. And I think you chose yourself, and that is offending some people. The audacity. So you have the Hangman here with the Five of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like you're outside of some circle. Okay, but I feel like you isolated yourself. Okay, because there were people that were not fair. Okay, you've got the Five of Wands here. There's a lot of people that were angry at this self-isolation. This is 2 fives, okay? Because of the massive change that you went through. It is a tower for you, but it's also a tower for them, right? It's a tower for you because you thought that these people saw the sacrifices you were making for what it was, as act of love, not a thing of responsibility, right? King of Wands is here, okay? I feel like there's somebody, earth signs. There's somebody, could have been there all along, but maybe wasn't recognizing how much you give. Or this is a new person who has recognized that you've let everything go and that you have like valued yourself in a new way, and they want to value that part of you too. They want to take action towards it as the King of Wands, okay? Now the thing is, it's very attractive, your new detachment. And all the earth signs are going to be very magnetic while Venus is in Taurus. So you're going to be attracting a lot of new things to you. Spirit, can I look at this High Priestess card that was at the bottom of the deck for the earth signs? Then we're going to get up out of here. I feel like the Justice card came out slightly cross, okay? I feel like you don't want to give yourself to anything that isn't wholly invested in you. Okay, so you will be resisting anything you think is not willing to put you first for a change, which is, that's why you're like in your villain era in a sense, because people are so used to you putting them first, and now this time you're putting yourself first, that they think it's something is wrong with that. Okay, but they were doing that the whole time. So, you know, have at it, earth signs. I think it's people who need to understand that it's time for them to do some of their own work. Okay, we're out of the Pluto situation, and we are creating, and the Uranus, right? Because Pluto was in Capricorn, and now Uranus is leaving Taurus. So between those two energies, right? Send me a text, Brianna. Send me a text. Okay, I feel like we are ready now to be free of all the heaviness, and I think people are not used to it. Okay, that's what I have for you guys for the month of June. Like I said, I will try to be back this week for a celebration for TikTok. I just can't say when because, like I said, my dad is in the hospital again and things are crazy. Okay. But I'm wishing you all light and love and have a great month. Bye, guys. It's under the same name, Lovely Soul Empress, on all social media. That's how you find me. All right, hon. Bye. And yes, it's on YouTube. Bye, my loves.